Lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. So, I want to talk about Kempire's Surviving Carlos King podcast. I feel like it was a very interesting conversation, and I'm really glad that Kempire did the episode. And he did it with, I believe her name is. But it was just good to see both of them, one on the same page, and address a lot of the Love and Marriage Huntsville stunts, because that's what I'm going to call it. That Kempire brought the receipts. Kempire actually played a clip yesterday. Now, I know you guys all were used to talk about Candy and what Carlos allegedly did to Candy. I did not even know that it was to that extent until I heard Candy speak about it herself. And I heard that crack in her voice. It was like she was so hurt that Carlos allegedly could sell her life story without even informing her or talking to her about it or addressing it. I thought someone that can do such a thing is capable of so much more. So I'm glad that Kempire did this. Shout out to him, because I feel like sometimes it's easy for the women to feel like, yes, this shouldn't be happening, but to actually see a man stand up, a man with such a big following and a big platform, speak up about all these disgusting behaviors that Carlos has allegedly been part of, it was great to watch. Well, y'all, I watched the whole thing. Because of that last night, I did not go to bed early, and I was up watching it, listening to it, because I wanted to catch it live until I eventually slept off. And then this morning I watched the final bits that I missed. Do love that Kempire addressed that people usually ask why he hates Carlos, but he doesn't know him to hate him. He genuinely does not have a relationship. He just reviews the shows and he sees the things that are out there. At the end of the day, Carlos clearly wants to be a star, same as Andy Cohen, so people are going to be critical of him. And that is something I absolutely agree with. I feel like if you're going to be in the public eye, especially as a producer, and you're also covering your show, of course, people are going to be critical. People are not going to just be sitting in their house chilling, feeling like, okay, Carlos, it's all right, whatever Carlos does. People are going to be critical. It's the same way when Andy hosts reunions. People are saying, why didn't Andy ask these questions? Same with Carlos King. If you're not being a good host, people will call you out about it. And I don't think it's that deep. Now, I do love when they were talking about the grooming part of the episode. And Taria, I believe her name is, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, but I believe that was her name. Apparently, I love that she flagged that Martel wasn't upset. Martel was just there laughing and kicking like it's funny. It's like, dude, she's also accusing you of grooming. So what is the hee ha ha about? Love that they didn't dance around it, because I think I've heard some content creators and some people in the comments making it seem like Destiny's saying the truth even when Destiny already backtracked. And so it's very, very disappointing. There could be people out there who really, really believe Destiny was telling the truth about Melody and Martel allegedly trying to groom her. That is wild to me, because even when she was at the reunion, she couldn't give any examples that had to do with her. Instead, she made reference to some alleged threesome that she said, and then Martel was like, but not you. She's like, no, not me. So what is it? So are they grooming you or are they not grooming you? Only for her to get on her silly show backtracking. Empire did also give us some tea that apparently were trying to get him to take it down. Apparently, they're trying to take out everything on YouTube about the grooming. They're apparently also trying to take out some other clips as well. And it's very interesting. You guys knew what you guys were doing. You played it on Own On Demand. So people with Own On Demand watched it. The deed is already done. You had it on Philo. the deed is already done. It's like after making an allegation against somebody, you put it in the public sphere and then you're like, oh, let's pull it back. Let's pull it back. It's too late. There's already so many videos of us talking about it. There's so many comments of people saying they believe it. And the craziest thing about it is the story about her backtracking is not getting traction the way the allegations were. And this is why I'm not going to stop talking about it. Opportunity that I get if I'm speaking on Destiny, I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to talk about the fact that she backtracks because I feel like it needs to be said. The apology, whilst I don't think it's an apology, but let's just say the apology should be even greater than the disrespect. But this ain't even an apology because she just said she used the wrong word. So what is it? Were you groomed or were you not groomed? And if you were not groomed, apologize. Don't put something like that in the public sphere and be reckless about such an allegation in this day and age, in this time. You knew what it meant and you said it nonetheless. But if you're a content creator listening to my content, even if you're not a content creator, if you guys see them talking about this whole grooming thing and stuff, leave a comment saying that she backtracked. She said she used the wrong, and put that out because I feel like it's unfair. It could happen to any one of us. It may not be the G word, but it could be other things where someone makes a terrible accusation, a disgusting accusation that is untrue. And then imagine people keep quiet and don't say anything to stand up and this allegation grows legs. These things happen all the time. And so that's why I want to encourage you. Make sure we are putting it out there that it was backtracked. I will also say shout out to that lady because now I'm going to go and look for her after this to find out what her channel is about. And I say that because just thinking about it, right? She said she called out Tisha. And if you guys listen to my previous video, I addressed Tisha. I noticed that a lot of people weren't really addressing Tisha and they were focused on Destiny and the grooming. Yes, I talked about Destiny and the grooming, but I still also flagged that Tisha is also to blame. And it was interesting to see that she picked that up. It's really good to hear that. I feel like Tisha has gone under the radar, but Shanida was right. She is an op. And somebody Melody needs to stay far, far away from. Really liked how they talked about how Carlos King is always gaslighting and using his podcast, making it seem like he's here for Black women. But then time and time again, it is shown that he's not here for Black women. I love that they brought Monique, what Monique said, where Monique was like, he even did me worse than the white folks. And bear in mind that Carlos King came onto her on some Black empowerment, do you right, all that kind of stuff, for him to do the exact opposite. Same thing as Winter. Winter shared, I believe it was on Queen Sheba Darling's YouTube channel, that all the men on her show were coming at her. They were being really aggressive towards her and calling her all types of bees and stuff. And then a producer who is a guy kept shouting, saying, get her, get her. What kind of toxic, horrific work environment is that? And you, as the executive producer, couldn't step in and say, cut that out. What is that about? Don't do that over here. Now, even if it may not be the Carlos that did everything, but he was complicit in all of the things that were being done to these women. In fact, I will go as far as saying, for some of them, he probably endorsed it as well. Allegedly. She even talked a little bit about Bell Collective and how toxic that has been. And that's the truth. I remember I wanted to watch Bell Collective for you guys, but I was just like, this is so toxic. I just couldn't stick to it because the level of toxicity was just too much. I will also say that I agree with what Kempire said about the show is not going to have a direction pretty much after Mel leaves, because they're going to need to replace Mel with like 3 or 4 couples that would be happy to share their life. Now, that lady, I think Tiara, said something that I really, really stand by and I agree with. She said, and she reminded us that there was an interview where Marceau was sharing that he was adamant about sharing his personal circumstances, and Carlos was like, don't worry, just share your business. So You see, Marceau has gotten away with only sharing what he wants to share for such a long time. If they're going to stay on the show and give what needs to be given, they have to be ready to be transparent and share it all. That is why the show worked when Melody was there, because she was transparent. And if Martel thinks that he's going to have a long reign over there, that the whole Melody storyline is gone, good luck to him, because he will be shocked. And again, maybe Carlos will end up making the others forced to film with him, so who knows. There's so much more I can say, but I want you guys to go watch it for yourself. I enjoyed it. I loved how they both were speaking facts throughout. And I think for me, it was just something where I was so appreciative that someone with such a huge platform like Kempire will use the opportunity to speak on it. Because I feel like a lot of people are dancing around it, and just because they don't like Melody, they're using the opportunity to big up Destiny when it is obvious that Destiny is lying about it. Do also want to say that it was a nice touch for Kempire to actually play the part of the video that Melody did where she was reading out text messages that Destiny was sending her. Does that sound like someone that is being groomed? And I'm like, okay. Did not. And I saw somebody in the comments that reminded everybody that Destiny was out here trying to smack Melody on the ass. And I love that. Love that you guys are really standing in and remembering all these things and flagging it. These are all of the things that we need to do. Hold people like Carlos King responsible. So that is all I have to talk to you guys about. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. But more importantly, I really want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comment section below and I'll speak to you guys in the chat. Thank you. Bye.